Sabi, welcome back to the channel. Today's battle is on Lakeville and we've got a platoon of T95s, otherwise known as Doom Turtles. Now we've got Fury here, it's his replay, he's got Kaboom and Line Balls. He's been in the same clan together. I suspect this is not going to be your ordinary T95 battle. If you've got three of them, you can really basically decide the fate of the enemy by pushing together and winning your particular part of the map. So let's just see how they go. Now it's quite fashionable to use a turbo on the T95, and of course if you don't, then guess what? You're missing out on the action. Is I've got to ram it to make sure his DPM is as high as possible, and a bit of hardening to basically help your tracks repair. The enemy side has got two T95s, so I guess that's a bit of fate. So he's going to go after the T95. Now of course Fury has got his APCR loaded as standard, so it goes through the lower plate there of the T95. Just a word of warning, if you do find Fury in a battle, he is currently #1 T95 player on this server through the basically Hall of Fame ratings, so yeah, just be prepared to have a bad experience. And you see this T95s are just absolutely bullying these tanks here. So reloads, bang, gets his first kill. And they're not stopping, so just looking for targets and keep moving until you run out of targets. I think that's the philosophy here. So pushing down the 1-2 line, generally regarded as not the best place to play on this map. The ground resistances are really terrible, of course, but does that really matter to a T95? A bit hard to say, but I think it only slows them down only 1 or 2 kilometres per hour, given that top speed is not that high in the first place. Alright, now he does have a T95 to his right there, sorry, a Waffenträger, and he was originally going to leave him alone, bit of a risk, and he actually managed to turn and put a shot in. XM57 there as well, can be a bit dangerous. So potential for being in a crossfire here, but if his teammates can keep them busy, then not so much of a risk, but you can see him just checking his angles. And he's certainly going to take one up the rear. In fact, there's the Waffenträger doing exactly that, but he wants to deal with this Udes, get rid of at least one side of the crossfire, and another shot into that Udes and he's gone, and you can see he's bounced a few, also coming in from the long range as well. The other T95 is in there somewhere. His team is up a little bit in terms of guns in the game, but interestingly enough, the hit points are fairly even at this stage. See, there is that T95 downrange shooting at him. But in any case, as long as he stays unspotted, he's pretty safe from a crossfire scenario. Oh, in fact, there's a Barask and he can put a shot in there. And yes, he does. 830 damage. The Udes goes down, so in fact, just get rid of this Barask and perhaps highlight that T95. You can do something about it. They have got rid of the Waffenträger behind him. Scorpion G there, also downrange, takes out the Basante next to him, and here we go, there's another Barask. Well, there was a Barask there. He gets taken down, but also the other Barask drowned. Now that he did go down right to the lakeside there, and it is a pretty dangerous place, slippery. Unfortunately, Kaboom gets taken out by the T95, but Fury hasn't really stopped here, apart from lingering on the cap circle for a minute or so. He's just pushing. He's only got 3k damage. He's not satisfied at this point, so he's going to go after this T95. Oh, but in fact he finds a Barask in the way, so he punishes him. And that T95 is still sitting there full health. Barask disappears, which is fine, so he's got to light up that T95. Oh no, there's Scorpion G also. Has Fury lit all this time, or has he gone dark? He must be lit here. The T95 must know he's there. Yes, T95 lines him up, but bounces off him, and Fury goes through, so he's just going to keep this up, smashing the enemy. trying to get as high damage output as he can. Again, he goes up for the Scorpion here. We'll get a shot in before he has to deal with the T95. The Scorpion goes down. In fact, now he's got their last tank standing. And I know no one likes to fight the T95 that's sitting in the corner, but that's not a concern for Fury. Again, he's got the lower plate right in front of him. So he goes for that, lines him up carefully, gets another spot of damage in, nearly 6.5k of damage. Oh, and is that T95 going to last? No, he's not. That's the end of the game. But still, a bit of a monster game here, and absolute bullying of these poor enemy tanks. Alright, we've got the results for that battle. As we saw, 6.5k of damage, only 1 kill. He's blocked nearly 4.5k of damage, and he's got another 1.8k of assisted there. So in the race for 3 marks, which he's already got, to be honest, that works out as over 8k of combined damage, which is just great at tier 9. He's got the high caliber reward, of course, for that amount of damage, and the Confederate reward, and the Ace Tanker badge. Let's have a look at the team score. Alright, he's finished on top with 1362 base, which is excellent. Right spot on the money for an Ace Tanker, and well in front of everyone in both in damage and experience. Next best damage artist was the Tortoise player, Kaboom, getting 2.4, and Lineball's just missing out, just really getting, I think, just a fraction of a kill there. So this is the problem with playing with Fury. He will basically try and just get in front and get all that damage, but that's what's made him the #1 player in that tank. On the enemy side, the Scorpion G actually came out on top with experience, but not by a whole lot. Dude is also picking up over 3k damage, being the outstanding player in terms of damage on that side. No one else doing anything significant, and a lot to do with that is the way that they just got completely bullied on that flank, and it just rolled over in terms of the outcome of the game. So economic wise, actually did pretty well here. 11 shots fired, 10 hits out of that, 9 penetrations, and in fact there's only 1 miss we saw, just hitting the tracks of the Waffentragos. He snapped a shot there. Bonus for playing in a platoon, helping greatly. Personal reserves also being good here, and despite using all that premium ammunition and some consumables, he's ended up with a very tidy profit of 109,000, which at tier 9 is a great result as well. You know, a great game there from Fury. As I said, this is a bit of a I don't care, I'm going to kill you and take the damage from you type game. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. If you like aggressive TD play, not sitting in the back and sniping, please give the video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, that's an option for you. We'll have more great content to follow. Thanks very much for watching.